This is Drive with Michael Smith.
Drive on 891 ABC Adelaide.
Welcome to Monday afternoon. Do you read many blogs? Ever wanted to start your own? Because today we're going to talk to two of Australia's most successful mummy bloggers.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My, how can I resist you?
Yes, why are they successful? Why do they want to share their lives with the world? And can you make money out of it?
This is Drive with Michael Smith.
On 891
Get a snapshot of the day's news.
ABC Adelaide.
But first to the rise of mummy bloggers, women prepared to put it all out there in cyberspace, sharing the joys and frustrations of motherhood. It's a booming industry, for want of a better expression. Maybe you're a regular reader. If you are, 1300 222 891. Why do you like reading mummy blogs? What do you make of them? A great way to connect and share experiences? Or maybe you consider it oversharing. With us today in the studio, two of Australia's most prolific mummy bloggers, Beth McDonald, who's the founder of Babymac.com, and Bianca Wordley, who writes Bigwordsblog. Women, welcome.
Hello, Michael.
Great to have you here. Beth, we'll start with you. Anyone who's unfamiliar with blogging, give us an idea of the sort of things you write about in a mummy blog.
Yes, certainly. I cover all sorts of things. We made a move from the city almost 2 years ago to do a sort of tree change down to the country. We're in the Southern Highlands of New South Wales. So I write about our life in our small country town. I write about our two daughters, Daisy and Harper, and I share recipes, joys and frustrations along the way, things I've bought, just anything really covered off, yeah.
How do you know what to share and what not to share?
I'm of the school of share everything, which gets me into a bit of trouble sometimes, but there's nothing really that's off limits with me. I talk about everything, and it's just what I would do if we were to meet and chat in real life. I'd overshare. I'm an oversharer. Most bloggers are, I think.
Do you find that there are certain things that really resonate with readers, or are there some things that perhaps surprise you when you write about them and you get a huge reaction unexpectedly?
Yeah, I think any time you talk about mundane, normal stuff that that everyone is experiencing. So my kids not eating their dinner, my children, for example, this week we've been on holidays in the lovely Adelaide, and my children have driven me absolutely bonkers. So I have, shared that, and everyone goes, that's fantastic. Of course they are. Like, holidays always look good, and then when you experience them, they're something else completely. So that's always, something that's positive. And I have written a series of the last couple of months of really mundane stuff, like how to make a bed, or how you hang out your washing, or how you stack your dishwasher, and dead set, the people are going crazy for it. They love it. Everyone is very passionate about the mundane things we do in our lives as mothers and wives.
1300 222 891 if you'd like to join this conversation. We're talking about mummy bloggers this afternoon. With me in studio, Beth McDonald, the founder of Babymac.com, and Bianca Wordley of Bigwordsblog. Bianca, how did you get started in all of this?
Well, I got started after the birth of my third child, Hazel, and I was in my lounge room. It was probably about 2:00 in the morning, and I was just going mental. I felt so isolated and so alone. And as an ex-journalist, I just thought it's time I write again, and I just wanted to start writing. So I learnt how to start up a blog, and I just started writing stuff. Things, obviously, things that are mundane, or things that were affecting me, or things that made me sad or happy. And I just started sharing. Before I knew it, I had people reading all around the world. And the connection with other women particularly helped me get through my days. And then I realised that I was helping other women get through their days as well. And it's just an amazing experience to have as a writer, to connect with people so instantly.
Looking at both of your blogs, there's a lot of art design. They're very stylish. Photography is important. How many sort of things like that do you need to draw people to the blog, apart from the content?
I think content is probably the number one thing. I think if you just write pretty much nothing and just have the odd photograph up there, there's a lot of blogs out there that have amazing photography, but they also have amazing content as well. If you look at Baby Mac, or Beth's blog, she's a prime example of that. Beautiful, beautiful photography, beautiful stylised message out there, but also amazing words that go along with it. And people want to connect with you on more than just a visual thing. But if I've looked at blogs out there that don't have much to look at, but the words are just stunning. So it's a mix of both things. I suppose you just need to be honest and connect with your readers.
With me in studio, Beth McDonald and Bianca Wordley. If you'd like to join this conversation, 1300 222 891. Stevie's given us a call from Robe. Hello, Stevie.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
Well, thanks. What do you make of all this?
I'm not a mother myself, but I have, in the past 6 months, been quite attuned to following blogs on the internet, and I find ones that feature quite regularly are, I guess, what you call mummy blogs, and I love them. I think they're fantastic. I'm not familiar with the two women on your show's blogs, two in particular that I quite like. One's called Veggie Mama, and another one is called Meet Me at Mike's, and I love the idea of showing recipes and great photos and enjoyment of motherhood, but also I think for mums in general, I think anything that would make them feel less isolated is a really positive thing.
Stevie, thank you for sharing your experience. Beth and Bianca, there are rock stars in the blogging world, aren't there? You become particularly familiar to people. Beth, you were saying you're up in Stirling today, and people who read the blog came up to you and said, "You're from Babymac."
They did. It was a highlight of my life, potentially, being recognised. But, yeah, I mean, the thing is, people are reading about your life every single day. They might just sit down. I got a comment today saying that the 5 minutes that they read of my blog every day is their favourite 5 minutes of the day. It's such you're sharing your life and your story and your children. It's very intimate, and people feel like they know you and that they're. I'm friends with people that have been there from the birth of my first child right through. So it's an amazing connection. I
guess the thing about the internet is, unlike a face-to-face encounter, people are more likely to be direct, potentially rude in the feedback that they offer you. How do you deal with that sort of stuff when they comment on the blogs?
Oh, look, I just think for me, I always try and wonder why people are feeling so angry. And, obviously there's some people out there that are really angry and they just, everything they read, they're going to find something to complain about or be nasty about and attack people about. So if I come from that place, then I don't feel so pissed off really at them for being so nasty to other people. But I must say that if someone does go onto someone else's blog, a friend of mine, and is nasty like that, they'll quite often get shut down pretty quickly.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. I've had quite a few. I think the anonymity of being behind a screen in your lounge room and your kids just annoyed you or spilt juice, and it's very easy to spit out nasty comments about what would appear to be someone else's perfect life that they're showing. And, women are generally unkind to each other, like as supportive as they are. It's the great paradox with women is that they're supportive and they'll cut down, and particularly when it comes to things like sharing your house or the way you parent. Everyone's going to judge, but I think if you just, acknowledge it and say, I try and make light of it and always use humour, and it doesn't take long for your supporters to shut the person down and then they go running away with their tail between their legs.
4 now on Drive with Michael Smith on 891 ABC Adelaide. I've got Beth McDonald in the studio. She's a mummy blogger, the founder of Babymac.com, and Bianca Wordley, who has the Big Words blog. Fred's given us a call from Marion. Hello, Fred.
Good afternoon, one and all. I don't even have a mobile phone, so technically I don't really know what you're talking about, really.
Right.
But I'm very late news on SBS the other week. There's a 21-year-old in the United States about to sue his parents for putting photos of him on the internet that he didn't give approval to. And they reckon it could change the internet. But I cannot understand why parents want to put any information about their children on the internet.
Fred?
As a person that gave evidence to the state wards here, that would be the last thing I would be thinking about.
Fred, thank you for raising that. Ladies, how do you determine what sort of photos of the kids are appropriate to put up, and are you particularly careful about that?
Photographs of my children go on my blog, but I never show photographs of them in their nappies or without their clothes on or in the bath. We're from a generation that we share photographs of our families quite freely on Facebook, online all the time. So for me, I think it's my choice to do that, and I raise children that we love each other very much, and I can't imagine them wanting to see me down the track anyway.
Yeah, I think, take a ticket and get in line with the things that they're going to sue me about along the way. So
it won't be photographs.
Yeah, no, I particularly with my eldest daughter who is at school now, and I think it will change the older that the children get. I think mummy blogs with kids, photos when they're younger, and obviously not in any compromising situation. They would be how they would be if you were to walk down the street with them. So it's no different to me. And obviously, as my daughter gets older, I will ask her permission to talk about things because she's old enough, and I'll ask her, and I will never intentionally talk about something that she wouldn't be comfortable.
Have you
otherwise.
notionally thought when they get to the age of 10, I'm going to stop doing this? Or, I mean, because there's a lot of energy and commitment required to do this, particularly on a daily basis.
Yeah, I think it will definitely change. I think the older that your children get, I mean, there's challenges around every corner, but I think that the blogs will change. I mean, what mine started out 6 years ago was pulling my hair out, I can't breastfeed, and now it's something completely different about sharing food and how I entertain, and it evolves. It's an organic process, so who knows where we'll be in 10 years' time.
You mentioned that it's part of the pleasure of doing this is connecting with other women in a similar situation. You've both been to blogging conferences in Australia, and Beth, you're about to go to one in New York shortly.
Yes, I am, Michael. 3 weeks' time. Not that I'm counting down the hours or anything. I'm heading over to Blog Her, which is a big American blogging. It's their 8th annual conference. It's being held in New York, and this is probably last year there were a couple of Aussies that went over, but this year there's going to be a bigger contingency of us over there, and it'll be really exciting to see how and where our blogging industry is going. Australia's probably about 6 years behind where America is, so there's lots for us to learn. It's going to be great.
You talk about it as an industry, Bianca. I noticed that you both subtly host advertising on your blogs. How do you go about choosing appropriate sponsors or advertisers, and potentially can you make quite a lot of money out of it?
Oh, look, some people would make quite good money out of blogging. It could also be through other ways. I tend to make more of my money through writing for other publications, and I've got a lot of that work out of my blog. I choose companies that I would shop at and companies that I like. The other ones I tend to say no to. Ones that I believe in, then I will do the odd sponsored post.
That's right. I think the rule of thumb with anything is that you would not... your readers who know you so well are going to see right through you if you start flogging something that they know for a fact you would not talk about or recommend. So there's definitely a fine line. I don't have any advertising as such on my blog, but I'm going to start doing sponsored posts. I've been signed up with the first blogging agent in Australia, and she's going to be a great connection with dealing with bigger brands and quality brands that I work with, and I'm excited to be representing them.
Well, thank you both for coming in today and giving us an insight into what is clearly a burgeoning industry in Australia. All the best in New York. Bianca Wordley, her blog is called Bigwordsblog, and Beth McDonald's is baby-mac.com. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks, Michael.
And Beth, as you said, you're off to New York. We're going to play some David Bowie for you.
And I'm going to dance it out.
Young Americans on 891.